Welcome to another edition of Political Arena. It's Friday's edition. Thank God it's Friday. I'm John Glover. I'll be your anchor on today's edition. Today we shall be taking a look at the Osun Election Tribunal judgment and the credibility of the Bvas. Just before I introduce my guest and settle down for today's business, I will hand it over to the safe hands of Ogene Karu of Fogba for the news roundup. Ogene Karu, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Okay.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to have you join us once again on the news roundup segment of the program, Political Arena. President Muhammadu WARRI has said despite the high-spirited mood typical of election seasons, his regime would ensure that Nigerians vote in an atmosphere conducive for free and fair elections come February 25 and March 11, 2023. The president stated this in a statement signed by his advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina. President WARRI said he has made it a cardinal commitment to ensure each Nigerian is able to exercise their franchise by participating in a free and fair election in true practice of our relative nascent democracy. Governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, has said he has taken a swipe at the people he called element in the presidency, whom he said were bent on inciting voters against the All Progressives Congress. The governor, who said this in a television program on Thursday, said the time frame for the cashless policy was inflicting needless pains on Nigerians. El-Rufai said this just as the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu at the party's campaign rally in Osun urged the electorate to troop out to vote even if they devalued the naira drastically. Meanwhile, the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, has stated that the government was not officially aware of any entity in the presidential villa working against the victory of the APC standard bearer. Now, the Sultan of Sokoto and President General of the Nigerian Supreme Court of Islamic Affairs, Haji Said Abubakar, has said the outcome of the 2023 presidential election is in God's hands. This is as the Sultan said, God is the one who gives power or deprives it. While speaking in Abuja at the 5th Annual Peace Conference and General Assembly of the Interfaith Dialogue Forum of Peace on the theme Religion and Ethnicity, safeguarding the 2023 general elections, he advised Nigerians to get their permanent voters card ready to vote according to their conscience in the February 25 presidential elections. And with that, we've come to the end of the news roundup segment. It's back to John Glover.
Thank you very much, Ogene Karu for why you took some time off to monitor the campaigns of some of the political parties in Delta State. How was the campaign generally?
Well, it is what I would expect. Now, the atmosphere going to the various rallies, especially that of the APC, the PDP and other political parties, you could see the excitement and even the atmosphere is charged up. All right, and we do believe and hope that with what we've seen the various campaign rallies, we will see those numbers, coming out in mass to come and cast their vote according to their conscience, according to the Sultan of Sokoto, who was advising Nigerians.
All right, we just have 22 days to find out where the presidential and the National Assembly election will swing to across the country. Well, we hope that Nigerians will come at Deltas, especially will come at en masse to exercise our franchise. We'll take a break. When we come back, I will introduce my guest, and then we settle down for today's business. The pot is already boiling, and the guests are already ready to dish out the food to us. Stay with us.
For this House, probably working with the Senate to come up with a clear strategy on how to engage the federal government to live up to its own agreements.
We must rise to it. They are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly if we cannot save this country.
Point of order, minority leader.
Distinguished senators, members of Representatives.
Let's shut down if we cannot save this country. We stay in our homes. Our country is bleeding. People are in poverty. There's no food. People are hungry. Insecurity is threatening us. We cannot pretend. It's better we are not here. Than to not see that here people are dying. Every day Nigerians are dying. We must rise to the occasion. As for me, Mr. President.
Welcome back. It's still Political Arena. With me in our studio, we have our team of political analysts that will do justice to our topic today: Osun Election Tribunal judgment and credibility of the Bvas. With me in the studio, we have Mr. Abet Agbese, who is a legal practitioner. You're welcome to our program.
Good morning.
Also with us, we have Mr. Isaac Eda Hesse, who is a PDP member. Welcome to our program from the far left.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
Good day, viewers.
All right. And also with us, we have Comrade Tunde Okorodudu, who is our Secretary General, Bola Ahmed Global Ambassador, BATGA. He is an APC member. You're welcome to our program.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Just let's settle down because we have a lot to discuss today. Very quickly, let's look at the matters arising as read in news roundup this morning. We saw yesterday the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, he came to accuse some elements in the presidency of being bent on inciting voters against the APC presidential candidate. So that to him, he said that what is happening right now is the handiwork of some elements in the presidency, so as to swear or to incite voters against the APC. I'll quickly ask Comrade Okorodu to respond to this accusation of the governor of Kaduna State. Do you agree with him that the money, the CBN policy, the fare scarcity and all that, they are being sponsored or caused by some elements in the presidency?
Well, first of all, the party did not say that the idea of changing the currency is wrong. It's right, but the timing. Now, how can you stabilize a system whereby you're giving them within a month, January 31st at that time, to make sure that all their money is in? Meanwhile, the banks were not paying out the new currency. Whoever is trying to do that is not a friend of Nigeria, it's an enemy of Nigeria, and we can classify it as sabotage.
All right, let's hear from Mr. Abet Agbese. What's your take on this?
Well, we had the back and front from the political, from APC. Clearly, you see, when there's a parable, permit me to use small feelings, when dirty too much for soup, even a blind man, Osun. It has become very clear that the APC as a party, in terms of performance, has failed massively. That even within themselves, even within the parties, there's a lot of discordant views. You know, originally a lot of them even felt the person that has emerged as as the presidential candidate was not the best that they could put forward. So within the presidency, within the party, there's a lot of discordant views, so they cannot trust themselves, they can do their interpretations. But again, how would one person think that if these like El-Rufai said, he said that Nigerians are being pushed to vote against APC, you know, because of it is neither here nor there, because Nigerians have moved on. What Nigerians are looking for in this election is not the parties, it is candidates. Because like I've always maintained, there are no what is it now, ideological differences between the party. I can't tell you the difference between PDP and APC when you look at the manifesto. Even if you add the new ones that are coming, Labour, it's about performance. It's about giving Nigerians, you know, dividends of democracy. So nobody is really keen about if your candidate is good. For example, I'm wondering how I'm going to vote on February 20, because it's going to be this way, that way. So it's not about party. People are just telling themselves the truth. They are just coming up to accept the fact that the policies, even if some of them are good, but the way and manner they are being implemented
Yeah, but you are taking a lot of the time of the other party.
No, just hold on, sir. You respond to that. Just hold on. I'll give you time to respond, sir. Don't worry.
So
I'll give you time to respond.
We are being considerate.
Okay.
If the policies are good, you have to implement well, and it is clear that it was not implemented well, and you see what is happening in the country.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll allow the PDP man to also speak on this, because even the APC has accused your party, the presidential candidate of your party, for coming out to say that there should be an extension, and when there was an extension, he came out to say they should not do extension again, because they said he is benefiting from what is happening now. What is your response to what Erufai said?
First and foremost, we have what they call system and structures. Well, CBN is a structure and it's a system, and this cashless policy have been in place right from I think Goodluck Jonathan. That is where we start transferring money. You understand? So somebody must come out and said there must be a stop to it. Any man that want to do good in Nigeria, they tag him saboteur. The man said, now is the time. Let us, this is the time that money will flow. In either PDP, Labour, APC, money will do what? Will come out. But when they invited him to him, they think he will not come to this and we arrest him. But when he came, I told them that money that he has retrieved from the system is so elaborate that when he mentioned it, so even the president support it. So who is sabotaging who? Is it the president sabotaging his own system? No. Everybody have an ideology. You bring out your system to make sure that this government, if the man wants to leave a legacy, that after he leaves, say when Buhari was there, people say when Obasanjo, when Jonathan, even late Yar'Adua that ruled for 2 years, maybe 3 years, they still refer to him. So basically, he come out and said this money is too much in the system, and excess liquid, let us reduce it so that we can be able to even go to the market. Even 200 naira you can transfer. I know somebody that went to buy pepper. Say, can you say yes to transfer 200 naira? Say, transfer the 200 naira.
All right,
and it makes sense and go.
All right, thank you very much.
So that there will be less liquid in the system. So don't say one person saboteur, one person saboteur. They are all enjoying the saboteur. Even the Erufai, he did not saboteur APC in Kaduna. And the Christians have been killed in Southern Kaduna. So it's saboteur APC. So what are we talking that some people in the all right. Thank
you very much. Let's allow him to to respond to.
Well, I can see
yes,
left and right.
Yes, you are just
they have their own opinion about this issue of the currency. Okay. I'm a pro fiscal policy. I believe there should be fiscal federation. There should be monetary system that functions. I support any change of currency, but when my mention was that when the money was changed, when you went to the bank, can you vow here that for the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks that they said that money should be in circulation, can you collect new currency in the bank? Many people cannot even when you go to POS right now, which is the transfer, they give you old currency. So is the whole thing not messed up? Now, secondly, just let secondly, finish. They just mentioned that the National Assembly invited Emefiele, that is the CBN governor, and he presented his case, and they heard it. But the issue is not whether the money should not be changed. The Senate and the House, they voted overwhelmingly to even, the Senate extended for 6 months. If there's no error, why would they change? Why would they vote an extension of 6 months for the people to continue to change their money? Emefiele had to agree that okay, they can still keep depositing money for the time being. Some people come up with 10 days, but let me tell you one thing. Being a member of APC and being the president doesn't mean I must support everything. I support democracy. Democracy is the separation of power in the government: the legislative arm, the executive arm, and the judicial arms. The legislative arms have said that they are extending this changing of currency for 6 months, and they reflect representation from the constituent, not the president. Yeah, we support the president.
All right,
constituent.
All right, thank you. No, maybe that's not our topic for today. Maybe we'll get it. I'm coming. No. Let's. I know. No, you don't need to respond to what they are saying, but just let it rest.
For the purpose of educating
the public,
let me make it clear. You see, when by virtue of Section 7, Section 8 of the CBN Act, it is the business of the Central Bank of Nigeria to handle issues of money policy, issues of changing of currency. You can only take the CBN governor can only deal with the president. There is nothing that has to do.
But when the people, I know that's the constitution.
I'm talking law. I'm not talking perception. I'm just telling you.
Yes, no, I understand that. But the National Assembly saw that the policy is affecting Nigerians drastically. That's why they decide to intervene. Yes, that's why they decide to intervene to prevail on him. Yeah, it's not with it. That's why they have to prevail on him to extend it so that Nigerians will not continue to suffer untold hardship, because we know what is happening at the bank today and even across the country.
It's just that when you are not conversant with a system, the people suffer.
All right, it's okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's leave it at that, because that's not our topic for today. We are looking at the integrity of the Bvas as a result of the judgment, the tribunal judgment of the Osun governorship election. So we want to quickly ask a legal practitioner here to tell us the meaning of overvoting as stated, because when INEC came up with the Bvas, they said it's watertight. These Bvas will check electoral malpractice and all that. So we're all hopeful that the 2023 election is going to be credible, at least in the history of our nation. But we are seeing the Bvas being put to test at the Osun election, and the tribunal came to say there was overvoting. So let's hear from a legal practitioner the interpretation of what the judges meant by
indeed. If anybody must be happy,
yes.
If anything, we must all be happy that indeed the Bvas has come to play. What has happened, the matter is still sub judice. There are limitations to how far we can go. But let me explain as easily as I can do. What happened? Remember the Osun elections. It was well out there that the major political parties as at that time, specifically the PDP and the APC, went on the market and bought votes. That I'm telling you of reports that came from observers. So what now happened was, in the process of buying votes, they also bought from I'm telling you of my understanding of the judgment, they also bought some of this INEC staff. And again, because we need to learn so that going forward, not only did they buy some of the INEC staff, some of the agents were also careless, and politicians didn't know the kind of game they were entering when Bvas was introduced. Let me explain. People, wherever a political party is strong, most times they are at free hand to do whatever they want to do. So what did they do? What we suspect they did was that they arranged with the people there, bought votes, and people started voting. Some of them were not accredited. They were not captured by the Bvas, but the votes went through. And that couldn't have happened if there was no conspiracies between party agents and INEC officials. Now, having done that, they announced results and everybody went to sleep, especially the one that was declared winner. What happened? As soon as APC discovered they lost, they prepared instantly, immediately, for election petition and they applied for the report from the back end of the server and they got it. When they got it, they also noticed that it was not consistent with the result. With the result that finally came out. Because the major issues in these elections as per Bvas is that you must look at not the registered voters, but you must look at the accredited voters. So the number of votes pulled by all political parties became over that of the accredited voters. They kept quiet. As at this point, PDP was jubilating.
According to the judge, they were bugaing.
Yes, bugaing. They were jubilating. They didn't do what they were supposed to do because they were also immediately supposed, and this I'm saying this so that political parties can learn. Yeah. They were also, whether you win or not, you must rush, especially if you win, you must relate with INEC and watch INEC very closely, because INEC ordinarily ought to have nothing to do, but it's their duty to protect the results they declare. So if, for example, I'm giving you analysis now, if for example the PDP people had gone to INEC, say, look, these people apply, then they look at what they apply, what they want to give to them. They say, look, there's a mistake here, have you checked your end of this thing? This thing may be more, they can put their hands together.
I think we have only 1 hour for this program because you do take
just hold on, because he just want to explain so that I will form the basis.
Going through the whole story.
I'm not a police.
Alright, don't worry, you have to stay, you will respond to all this, but I just want you to give us the basis of the judgment. The basis of the judgment, that will not form the basis of discussion, because a party to it is a party to it. He wants to give us a basis of that will form the basis. What is the overvoting now?
So before I was interrupted, so that is the point. Nothing, they didn't do their end. So at the end of the day, PDP also applied, and from the judgment we also discovered that their own was also exceeded. It was now in the tribunal, during the tribunal meetings, they now called for the Bvas analysis, the actual machine. It was that machine that now tallied. So the question before the tribunal was, which one now are we going to believe? But the tribunal, with the greatest respect, by their own reasoning, decided to take not the server, they decided to take the Bvas report themselves. So, and at the end of the day, what does the Electoral Act say? The Electoral Act says that once overvoting is established in any of the polling units, that unit will be cancelled. So they now cancelled all the units where voting was established and now counted only the units where there was no petition. Now it's important to know this, because APC didn't lose, or rather did not lose in those areas. They did not question those other votes. Now what this will do for further elections is, once you are also answering your petition, you also try and complain. You counter petition and complain about their own. Because at the end of the day, you may, if they are minus and there may be yes.
All right, thank you very much. Now I want the APC man to respond to all this, because your party is at the receiving end. Now your party benefited from it all because your party's governorship candidate was declared as the winner. What's your own reaction to this? Are you convinced?
Well, my dear friend, APC don't break laws. They follow the rule. We were confident that they were overvoting, and during the overvoting, people didn't realize that the BVAS is to ascertain exact vote. We might have a dancing governor there, but he will dance his way back out. The issue is that all votes are not counted through Bvas, like my gentleman on the right here said. It's a null vote. So what's the point? APC were on ground, they've done their work, the incumbent governor served properly, and overwhelmingly they voted for him. Regardless of the one ABC analysis, which we don't have time for here, the point is that non-Bvas vote cancelled, Bvas vote counted, and who won? APC. Period.
All right, thank you very much. Let's hear the PDP man now. They're already counting.
Do you know what I want to say first?
Oh, no, sir.
I thank God that the Bvas can answer questions.
Okay.
Like then days when you can pack ballot boxes, pack ballot paper, and went to the backyard and begin to talk. Then those times are gone. But having said that, you know, you are talking about the majority decision. What of the minority decision? You are talking about, because now it is 2 against 1. But the minority, what did the minority say? Minority said there is an election. And if the minority vote gives Adeleke the vote, it is the majority that said, because there are only 3. Out of the 3, 1 support, while 2 is against. So basically that means that judgment must be appealed. So what we are saying here now, the judgment, Adeleke already said, is going for an appeal. It is after the Supreme Court judgment, because we got to the Supreme Court, that we can say he has said APC won. Because even the PDP as question is 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the judgment, APC have already known the date.
I just want to just right
When
quick to clarify.
No, just hold on. Let him finish. So that he doesn't.
We need to say the judgment, in a way, you must be very careful when it comes to.
So how do you mean APC was already privy?
Yeah, they are privy to the day the judgment will be read.
That's a known fact. All parties.
So you find out that this one now, they are now saying that there is overvoting. The minority judgment said no, there is an election. So if it becomes minority.
No, as it is now, the minority doesn't count because
the minority doesn't count. That is where there's a room for an appeal.
All right. So,
but I just want to clarify the appeal issue.
Definitely, as we are talking now, when it moves from one step to the other, you will find out that PDP at the end of the day will take the lead.
All right.
That is if there is a valid room for appeal. Yes. By the way, the judgment was placed against INEC. APC did not take PDP to court. They took INEC to court. Do you understand? Yeah. And the only one who can appeal this judgment
is INEC.
Not any party.
All right, we have a learned, we have a lawyer here that can say that, clarify that.
Position is, when you see me, I don't like interjecting over
I understand.
You have to be minimal.
Just to clarify. Don't worry, sir. Just go ahead, sir. Just go ahead. We're listening.
When matters of law, if they are politicians are on the set and they are discussing anything, it's okay. But when you have a lawyer and things that are wrong are being said, you must.
Okay, just tell us what
he is wrong when he said that APC did not take PDP to court. APC took INEC and PDP. Governor Adeleke is a party in that particular case. That's why when you watch, you see the lawyers for PDP, you have the one for APC, you have the one for INEC, you have the one for even the particular.
All right. It's okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Because we want to see moving forward now, from what you explained earlier, it means that if a political party knows that the area is not its strong point, I don't know if you understand what I mean. It's not popular in that area. They can decide to work with INEC staff, and then the INEC staff write in the EC8 form and put a wrong number there that will not tally with what is in the Bvas. At the end of the day, if they don't tally, that area will be the result. They will be cancelled, which means it can be manipulated. Is that what?
No, it is not the Bvas that is being manipulated.
No, that's the INEC staff that can affect.
Of course, once human beings are involved, there can be manipulations here and there. That is why I am saying that people must open their eyes in these elections. for me, I'm more interested in the elections that are coming. In these elections, the polling agents will be so important. INEC will be so important. Security agents will be so important. And if I were contesting an election, from the beginning of the election, in fact, immediately as we are finishing, completing the election, whether you win or not, you must get lawyers, sound ones, to follow you through the processes. Because this election, many of the results may be overturned if you do not understand. I think that Osun is a case study. God brought Osun result to come up like so that people can open their eyes. The election will not end on the election day.
All right, thank you very much. In this Osun election now, who is to blame? Is it the INEC official now or the Bvas machine? Because according to you people won the election from the right.
It's the INEC. That's why we took INEC to court.
You had to go to tribunal to get
took INEC to court for not.
So who is to blame? Who is to blame for
the INEC has? They have swallowed their blame because the judgment says that the Bvas was not effectively. Nobody should vote without completing the certification of a Bvas. It must be. They must check your thumbprint. It must match with your face. You must match with your polling unit, etc., etc. Then you can vote. And by the way, for those who don't even know, when time comes, they can even track the vote to your number. Because when you come in, the first thing everybody must learn how to do, the agents, when you come in on election day, before they start the election, be sure that everybody sees that the Bvas is 000. No count. It's like you shaking the box, no ballot. This time you don't have to worry about ballot stuffing. The count is through the Bvas. Once you are ascertained and certified at the Bvas, then they issue a ballot or number of ballots, because in this case it might be 2 or 3 ballots in the first election, presidency, Senate, and House of Reps. Those 3 ballots is being linked to the certification of the Bvas. And in the long run, any vote that doesn't go through the count of the Bvas will be sorted out. They don't just pick certain numbers out. It's either they cancel the whole Bvas in that polling unit, or when push comes to shove, they will go to the result woman, and then they can even find out who you voted for.
All right, thank you very much. Now let's hear from the PDP man here, comrade, okay, Mr. Edda Hesse. Now, who is to blame? The judge, according to the judge, the respondent was already going to buga, and people were already bugaing and enjoying yourself, celebrating your victory. Unknown to you, the victory will be overturned by the tribunal. So who is to blame? Is it the failure of the Bvas machine or the unprofessionalism of the operators of the machine?
Yes, you know, I remember when I did something, when you don't know how to operate, you make mistakes. So first, the INEC should train those that want to operate the Bvas, because if you don't know how to operate, you press what you're not supposed to press. And this is computer. You may just, instead of pressing 10, you press 20. The figure have escalated. But this one is not the case. You know, politicians, we know how to manipulate.
Okay. That's coming from a politician now.
Yes, politicians.
Including yourself.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said we. He said we.
Including the APC man. APC is the chunk of the manipulation this time. Yeah, you getting my point? Now, the election has come and gone. Went to you are blaming the INEC. There are some people that are there. You want to tell me now that those places that they get overvoting, is APC agent don't be there? APC polling agent, are they not there? Then how manage did they, and they sign the result? If you want to follow, you blame your polling agent and that is there, your returning officers. You don't blame. You go to your people that was there at the instance of voting. They signed it, but provided they signed it, that result is authentic. So for going to with respect to the legal man that is here, they know when you come to court, they will begin to think how to manipulate, how to do things that is result the judgment will favor them.
No, they may just look for the loopholes and not manipulate it.
You know, remember, I want to talk about Mike Tyson. Remember when Mike Tyson went to fight somebody, when somebody was fighting, he has an injury here. The person was just calculating. The boxer, the other boxer was just hitting that place. At the end of the day, the man become unconscious, and the other man won. That is what the lawyer did. Are you getting my point? So right. That is it. But the INEC people, the APC people that was on that polling unit that signed the result.
Even your own people too also signed. It's not only the APC because your own people also signed and still did not tally with the Bvas. It's general, even Labour. So it's the general agent.
The issue now is INEC prove APC prove that there is overvoting.
Because the point we want to make at the point of the voting. Listen to this. At the point of voting, it was they were overvoting, and because it favored your people, your agent also signed. And they too also signed, even when you didn't favor them.
The issue, that issue of overvoting is questionable.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say now, the question here that how does it? I said if the issue of overvoting for APC member to sign it, it is not PDP member that went to court. That there is overvoting. It's the APC that went to court, and they have their people. They're supposed to pack all their police agent that is there and jail them.
All right, thank you very much. Let's leave it at that. Let's look at the way forward because we're closing. We're wrapping the program up now. There's always not enough time, but let's hear from Mr. Abet Agbese. What is the way forward? How can we prevent such a reoccurrence in the coming election?
I think I've told you.
Yes, sir.
I've told you. In the forthcoming elections, it is not election as usual.
Okay.
So you can make all the noise. He said, why did the Labour? If I am an agent and I discover that you are winning in my booth against me, and if I will encourage you to bring in people, let them vote for you, even if they were not accredited, I'll be watching you. Then I send message to my people, look, if you attack that election, that result from that unit, you will succeed. Why? Because I know that the law is once there is overvoting, that unit as a whole is cancelled. There is no such thing as sorting out. There's no such thing as sorting out votes. Do you understand? Once there is overvoting. So what's the way for to political parties? Not just to political parties. Your agents must be on ground. We must especially if we want the votes of Nigerians to count, if we want the way popular choice to come out, the agents must hold their ground. The security agents, because while they are doing all this, security agents are there. They have to be on the know. And the way they do election is a matter of sending money around and everybody pretends as if nothing is happening. But Bvas will be there. Nigerians should be grateful.
So the fear of Bvas is the beginning of wisdom.
Bvas, this is the best election that will go. So once you go into trying to overvote and all that, you are actually doing yourself.
All right, thank you very much. And I'll come ready to call you. What's your word to
in fact, can I shake your hand? you just proving that our presidency under the APC government did an effective job to really help election in Nigeria.
Your president is not the one that did it. In fact, your president stalled it.
No.
It would have happened a long time ago when he was to contest.
Who implemented? Let it just continue. Let it continue.
President Muhammadu Buhari, we're going to finally be having a direction for good election in Nigeria. We might not get there totally, but we are on the right direction. And when you say way forward, we're already on the way forward. The test case study was Osun. The dancing governor has danced back home. You know, he's not dancing to the government house anymore because the Bvas said, "Not your turn yet. Wait for your turn." He could still come back.
So it's not yet time for Emiloko.
It's not Emiloko. It's an election that we are very confident because it's our government that introduced and encouraged the implementation of the Bvas so that we don't want cheating. Look at the crowd in all Emilokon's movement.
They want to pay.
Pick or no pick. No, you can. It depends on your and if you are not a member of a party, why are you? Are you not just an analyst? You shouldn't be talking like this. You should. Just let him. You're not supposed to be. If you are an analyst, your job is to analyze, not to tell me. You are talking as like a Peter Obi follower.
Okay.
To me. All right. You are attacking APC and you are attacking PDP, but you are creating another tension, which we call it the obedient tension too.
No, you don't need to.
I'm sorry, but see, the fact remains that APC government is here to stay. Emiloko, whether there is a crisis in the upper chambers or in the Aso Rock, those are nothing. Those are human. In your home, your children, you have 5 children. There's tension inside your home, and you loved all of them. It doesn't mean they can't kill Abel. That's not news. The saboteurs are everywhere, but we will nail it and nail it in the butt. We are ready to win this election because we've got all what it takes to be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under Jagaban.
All right, thank you very much. Let's hear his own closing remark now.
First, this election is not business as usual.
Okay.
Everybody will go to a drawing board. All politicians are talkers. We will talk, but the action we speak on that day. Bvas machine, to me, is one of the good things that Mr. President has done. I was watching his interview when he was talking that no extension of changing of naira. You understand? But at the end of the day, they bow to pressure and they shift it. Are you getting my point now? Because Nigeria, you want to hear. But this election, I bet you, Atiku will win this election. Mark it. Atiku is articulated. He want to unite this country. The APC have destroyed this country as you know, crisis everywhere. Even in the north there's crisis, southeast there's crisis, in the south there's crisis, in the southwest there's crisis. So even in their party there's crisis. Just you know that before they tell Kasuro, because they are looking at the man that is coming. We don't want to go into that because that is not what brought us here. If it's that one that brought us here, we will dissect it very well. So the issue is PDP. Mark what you remember when I came here, you the one I interviewed that when I said wash it, Atiku will take the ticket. You remember? Yes. You were the one that interviewed. Yes. I said Atiku will take the ticket for PDP. You say our man is okay, don't worry. Some people are saying we KD, but at the end of the day, Atiku take the ticket. Mark my word, we'll still come back here and you see after February 25th, if they did not extend it after February 25th, Atiku will fly the flag of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not the flag of PDP, the flag of Federal Republic of Nigeria, because the man has something in stock for Nigeria. He has something in stock. They may say anything they want to say, but Atiku has a plan, has a blueprint, has a plan for Nigeria to bring Nigeria back.
Yeah, he has the plan to sell NNPC.
The issue selling is a project of the government.
All the one is sold. We are buying it back.
I remember when you contested the Senate. I remember. So I know you very well. You are my brother. I remember when you contested Senate. So if you want before, you be part of people that will say, okay, this bill. It is
I was rigged, but I didn't complain. I just said.
Nobody rigged your election. You know
I was very popular. I won the whole 3 ward local.
If it's not popular, how come you knew him? All right, no matter what, anybody that comes out for election is popular. Just to make sure to come out. But let's leave it at that. It's not to contest his popularity. We're not here to contest anyone's popularity. Like he said, he believes that Jagaban, according to him, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will emerge, and you said your own Atiku Abubakar will emerge. But I don't know if the NBA chairman will emerge in your own case now, because you don't represent.
But I'm saying that Nigerians
will choose their president.
And when Nigerians are voting, they will remember that the poverty, the suffering that Nigerians are currently experiencing, didn't happen by magic. It happened from when PDP was there and APC magnified it. Nigerians
let me clear something.
Okay. We're closing now. Your last, just your closing remark.
Nigeria forgets so easily. You remember when Obasanjo came into this government? When he come to government, it was proper military regime.
And it was existing.
Don't forget. Crisis was already there from Abacha.
Might have seen it.
You get my point. So at the end of the day, Obasanjo managed to quell the crisis and hand over to. So it is not PDP that brought the crisis. So the crisis emanated before Obasanjo.
It's a Nigerian crisis.
So for you to say it started from PDP is a very wrong. I
agree with you.
Very wrong language. So we should not go into that.
I agree with you.
All right, thank you very much. I think
it's actually an American infiltration.
Yes.
The CIA wants to divide and conquer Nigeria.
Okay. But he also accused your party of magnifying the problem.
No.
He started.
Obasanjo managed it and held it. Buhari came and held it, and we will even make it stronger because we are also American trained. I'm an American trained. Tinubu is an American trained. We know who is behind the scene pushing the buttons.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. I think with that we'll just wrap up the program. Special thanks to all my team of panelists. Special thanks to our legal practitioner here with us, Comrade Albert Agbese, and also Mr. Albert Agbese.
We are comrades.
Oh, sorry, okay, the other comrade. All right, so we also have activists today Okorodudu with us, and he said he's honorable IZ
barrister.
And special thanks to my producer Grace Matu,
my big brother,
and also my general manager who is the executive producer, Pastor Malcolm Oteri. I'm John Glover. See you same time on Monday for another edition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You go shake my hand now. You say you will shake my hand.
divine spark of God. It is your destiny to hear the voice of God for a greater vision. Ekanka, the path of spiritual freedom, presents the 2023 Ek Area Seminar Efro with the theme How God Speaks to Us. Date February 10 to 12, 2023. Venue GMPG Event Center opposite the Tees Hotel and Suites, Uti Road, Efron, Delta State. At this seminar, featuring spiritually uplifting talks, workshops, round table discussions, creative arts, and special sessions for youth, children, parents, and those new to Ekenka, the guest speaker is Kate Okala, a member of the Ekenka clergy and an Ek missionary. Come and have practical tools that can help you hear God speak to you for divine guidance, love, wisdom, and healing. You're cordially invited.
Is what you make it.
It is history's most haunting and hostile arena. An empire of sand and sun, with a past as captivating as its landscape.
The Sahara Desert forces people to either use their ingenuity or perish.
Here, kings led caravans of 30,000 camels bearing riches beyond imagining.
You